Hello everyone, welcome back to the Twin Flame Tarot. My name is Tony and this is the Twin Flame Daily Forecast for Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. However, anytime you are here is exactly when you are intended to be here because time is limitless. So hello, welcome to my table. Welcome back to my returning subscribers and hello if you are new here. I'm so glad that you found me. So as I said, my name is Tony and this is the Twin Flame Forecast. First, we're going to pull cards for our Divine Feminine. Next, we'll pull cards for our Divine Masculine. And lastly, we're going to pull a couple cards for our collective Twin Flames. If you see a deck of cards you like, I'm going to have them linked down below in the description. And when I refer to the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine, divine means holy. Feminine and masculine do not refer to one specific gender. So let's get this going. Let's get out our sage, which you'll see it's actually a little bit smoking still from where I used it before we began recording. So let's go ahead and get it maybe just a little bit more smoky and get our table cleared. All right, here we go. We clear, we bless, we protect this space. We clear, we bless, we protect this space. I'm going to clear, bless, protect, activate, and fully align all my chakras and energetic auric grid systems. Beautiful. Okay. Good stuff. All right, headphone users, let's turn down that volume so I can set the tone for this reading. Nice. And lastly, we're going to set our intentions for this reading by calling forth in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We invite our angels, ancestors, guardians, guides, and spirit to please join us. Please help us to understand and to interpret these messages as we receive them. Look at that sunshine coming in really bright from behind me all of a sudden. Hopefully that won't wash out this reading too much. You know what? I think I might go hit pause here. Let me hit pause. Let me go pull those curtains in a little bit. Well, the curtains are pretty sheer, so they didn't do much good. So I just kind of scooted my chair down. It's all good. You know, you just work with what you got, right? Okay, speaking of working with what we got, how about we get this reading started, Divine Feminine? We're going to begin with you. We are going to be starting the day out with the Romance Angels Oracle deck. All right, headphone users, let's turn down that volume for the shuffle. Angels, ancestors, guardians, guides, spirit, what messages do we have for our Divine Feminine today? What messages do we have for the Divine Feminine on this Wednesday, December 9th, 2020? What messages do we have for the Divine Feminine in whatever time, date, space, or place they are watching this? Thank you so very much. Angels, ancestors, guardians, guides, spirit. We just need one card on the table, please. Thank you very much. All right, Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine, you got separation. It says time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Okay, so listen, let's not go into sheer panic right away. This does not mean the end of a relationship or the end of anything. It could just be, you know, maybe one of you is going on a work business trip, maybe going to visit your family, maybe going out of town for, you know, a girls' weekend. That doesn't mean this is a permanent, long and lasting separation. However, this can be speaking directly to one of you. If you've been thinking about maybe it's time for us to spend a little time apart, maybe spend time reevaluating and see where we're at with this relationship, the answer probably is yes. Yes, more than likely you should. All right, so let's find out some more about that. So before we go any further, I went and got a new tablecloth, but I did not realize I was buying a paper tablecloth. So I'm really apologizing for this giant seam. It's always something with me in the table, right? All right, Divine Feminine, let's find out a little bit more about the separation. We're going to pull from the Paulina Tarot. All right, headphone users, let's turn down that volume. Angels, ancestors, guardians, guides, spirit. What messages do we have for the Divine Feminine today? What messages do we have for the Divine Feminine for this Wednesday, Wednesday, December 9th, 2020? What messages do we have for the Divine Feminine in whatever time, date, space, or place they are watching this reading? Thank you so much. Angels, ancestors, guardians, guides. Thank you. Wow. All right. All right, Divine Feminine, justice. So, yeah, you know, let me just see if I can just get everything down just a smoochy smooch, and maybe that'll lay a little bit better. Yeah, justice. All right, you got justice, and then at the bottom of the deck, we have Five of Pentacles, the Empress, the Tower. Wow. Death and Six of Wands. Oh, wow. Divine Feminine. There is a whole lot of message you got coming in here. Let's start with this. All right, so this separation, yeah, it looks like this is definitely a specific message for somebody, okay? But what I want to say is the separation is probably long overdue. It's probably been something you've been thinking about for a while. Not sure if if it was the right choice. Yeah, it is. This separation is going to help restore the balance, I would say. I don't want to say balance, but I feel like maybe y'all been off balance. That is the word I want to say. I feel like y'all have been a little bit off balance, Divine Feminine, and you have been off balance, I guess I should say, Divine Feminine. And maybe you just need a little bit of a time apart to figure out where you are. It's not even about ending the relationship. It's about getting your head on straight, okay? Because look here what we have going on. First, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Pentacles. And then we have the Empress, okay? So, like, you've been left here lately. You both been feeling, not very, the Empress is about nurturing, right? And then the Five of Pentacles is literally, look at these two. They're left out in the cold. Do you see that? They're out in the cold. So it feels like, you've been pushing each other away. You haven't been nurturing this relationship at all. And in fact, it feels like there could be, there could be talk of ending this relationship completely. It feels like y'all might have had a tower moment here recently where you're like, I'm just tired. It feels like something has happened recently that's kind of forced the separation to the table, that's kind of forced this return, this equilibrium. That's the word I was trying to say, not balance, but this return of the equilibrium of this relationship. Because, yeah, one or both of you have been feeling very neglected, and you've just been craving this nurturing that you're not getting, and you're ready just to, burn the motherfucker down, right? Just be done with it. Yeah, you're ready for it to end. You're ready for a fresh beginning. The thing about death is death isn't really the end of life. It's the beginning of the next life, right? So that's what you're hoping for. You want a fresh start. And in fact, you're ready for it to get in here now. Six of Wands, again, this is that fire sign. You talk about burning things down, but we are in Sagittarius season. And Six of Wands is the victory and success, right? So what you're hoping is that you're trying to move past this Five of Pentacles and feeling neglected and just unnurtured, unloved, right? You're trying to move past that. You're ready to burn it completely down, start over, let the past be the past, maybe even have a clear start, but what you'd like is some success. So here's the thing, the Divine Feminine, this separation, I feel, is extremely necessary. You're going to have to, sometimes we got to burn out the forest to just clear out the undergrowth so it can grow. Sometimes you have to let something die so something new can begin. And sometimes the only way you can get that success, that victory, is to let something go, okay? And yeah, you're definitely being told it is time to let something go. It is time to be the only way you can get to this path of success and victory, this can be personal victory, this can be victory for both of you, but whatever it is that you're letting go, or whomever it is that you're letting go, yeah, it's time. It's time. In fact, I feel like you have been feeling very just like unnurtured for a very, very long time. So it's time. This separation is here to return that equilibrium and to get that relationship or whatever it is that you're ending, to get it back into balance. That's what this is here for, okay? That's that Libra energy here on the table, okay? So, Divine Feminine, not to freak you out or anything, but this is definitely a very specific message. If you've been thinking about leaving a person, place, job, moving, whatever it is that you've been thinking about leaving behind, this card is here to let you know that, yeah, it's probably past time. It's probably far past time. It's time to move on, to let that go. And that way you can make room for the success that is coming. And here's the thing. This is Six of Wands. That means the sooner you burn the MF down, let it die, the sooner you actually get this victory. This is Six of Wands. Wands is the quick moving sun. The faster you act, the faster that can happen, okay? So don't hesitate. Pull that Band-Aid off and get it over with, okay, Divine Feminine? I hope you enjoyed your message. If you did, give me a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already, because now it is time for our Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine, we are going to pull from the Star Seed Oracle. Oh, I am so sorry. Headphone users, I apologize. I forgot to ask you to turn down the volume. Go ahead and turn it down because I am about to shuffle. Sorry about that. I apologize. Angels, ancestors, guardians, God, spirit. What messages do you have for the Divine Masculine today? What messages do you have for the Divine Masculine for this Wednesday, December 9th, 2020? What messages do you have for the Divine Masculine? And whatever time, date, space, or place they are watching this reading. Thank you so much. Angels, ancestors, guardians, God, spirit. What messages do we have for the Divine Masculine today? What messages do we have for the Divine Masculine and whatever time, date, space, or place he is watching this? Thank you. Wow. Hang on one second. I'm really sorry I hit my microphone. It sounds like it was ting-tinging against my necklace, and I don't want it to be doing that to you. I apologize if it was. I'll have to go back and listen. The blue flame, okay? Again, we've been talking about this non-stop, Divine Masculine. Here lately, it's really about self-mastery. This is, you know, it's interesting. Divine Feminine is talking about the separation and about going out on our own. Yeah, you both are very much in the season of self-mastery, and that's what this blue flame is about, because, you know, this is not the twin flames, right? This is not the blue flame and that orange flame. This is just the blue flame by itself. This is the blue flames, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. This is time. It is time for you, Divine Masculine. This is about your own ascension. This is about your own self-mastery of yourself and what you came here, your purpose, your soul's purpose, your soul's mission on this earth. This is a card of awakening and energetic upgrades. Perhaps you've been going through a period of spontaneous awakening, receiving visions and having experiences that are out of the ordinary, maybe. Let's jump ahead because this talks about the blue beings. We're going to jump past that. Many people glamorize the awakening process. However, in reality, it's much messier and more difficult than most of us believe. We must first let go of what we think we know for sure and how we make sense of the world. And that isn't easy. The awakening process, even when it's spontaneous, takes considerable amount of time to integrate. An awakening without integration can leave us feeling very ungrounded. I want to repeat that. Awakening without integration can leave us feeling very ungrounded. So, Divine Masculine, if you are in the midst of an awakening, which is, by the way, a process that never ends, okay? I want you to take the time to treat this time as deeply sacred and give yourself ample space to ground and to integrate the extreme changes that you're going through. So, again, this is about self-mastery. This is about finding out your soul's purpose. This is what time we're in. We are, you know, again, we're about to come into the grand conjunction with Jupiter and Saturn entering. They're going to be less than 1 degree away from each other, and they are going to be entering 0 degrees Aquarius. This is the age of Aquarius. On December 21st, it begins. And so we're all going through this. We're all going through this great awakening. And so this is just about you standing alone and getting to understand, asking your ego to step back and giving your soul a chance to come forward and getting to know yourself in a way that you've never known yourself before. This is self-mastery, Divine Masculine. Let's get a little bit more about that. We are going to pull from the Chrysalis. Speaking of self-mastery and evolving, the Chrysalis, right? The Chrysalis Tarot. All right, headphone users, let's turn down that volume. Angels, ancestors, guardians, God, spirit. What messages do we have for our Divine Masculine today? What messages do we have for the Divine Masculine for this Wednesday, December 9th, 2020? What messages do we have for the Divine Masculine in whatever time, date, space, or place they are watching this reading? Thank you so much. Angels, ancestors, guardians, God, spirit. We just need 1 card on the table for our Divine Masculine. This is crazy because I drew these exact cards yesterday at the bottom of the deck. And y'all just saw me shuffle. So I didn't just draw one, I drew both of these cards. So Divine Masculine at first, you have the Page of Mirror or the Page of Cups. And then you have the Page of Stones or the Page of Pentacles. And then at the bottom of the deck, you have Eight of Mirrors, Seven of Spirals, Temperance. Okay. Divine Masculine. Again, this is all about self-mastery, and right now you need to just be focusing on the sacred time of healing yourself. This is about you and you alone, okay? Let me show you why. First of all, we have the Page of Stones, which is the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Mirrors, which is the Page of Cups. In this deck, they are known as the Acrobat and the Healer, and that's what this is all about. The Page of Cups is kind of a surprise. It's kind of something that you don't see coming out of the blue, but it's a surprise that your heart was really, really wishing for. And then the Page of Stones, that's the Page of Pentacles. He's just kind of, it's like a new wish, a new desire, a new dream that you're chasing, okay? And so this is your ego stepping back, your soul stepping forward, you stepping into your own activation, getting grounded, getting integrated, getting awakened, and just letting your ascension occur, because this is your soul showing up and telling you, here's what I want. This is what I want the most from my heart, and this is the kind of life I want to build. These are the dreams I have that I want to chase. This is your heart and your soul telling you, hey, this is the kind of life and dreams that I think you should be chasing right now. Don't worry about all that stuff you've done in the past. This is the path you need to be going. You need to be on. This is your intuition stepping forward and leading you. You've been, I think, Divine Masculine for a very long time. Divine Masculine during this age of Pisces that we've been in the past 2,000 years. It's been patriarchal, and I know people get tired of hearing that word. But the thing is that what we mean by that is that we've been led by our divine, our own. Everybody's has their own divine masculine, divine feminine. We've been led by our own divine masculine within each of us. We've been patriarchally led. Does that make sense what I'm saying? It doesn't mean, hey, men are bad, they've been beating down women, blah, 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 blah. Okay? That's not what we're trying to say. What we mean to say is that we've been listening more to our logic and less to our intuition. And that's what they're saying here, that when you have the opportunity to let your ego step back and you let your soul, your intuition step forward, you're going to be creating a rather surprising life. There are dreams that your heart wants that it hasn't even shown you yet. There's a life waiting to be built for you that your soul is yearning for, that you are going to be so surprised when you get to that point of realizing. When you get into the space where you are connecting with your higher self, you're going to find secrets that are waiting for you that you don't even know are coming, okay? And let's look at what's at the bottom of the deck here. We have the Eight of Mirrors, which is the Eight of Cups. We have the Seven of Spirals, which is the Seven of Wands. And we have Temperance, again, showing up during Sagittarius season, yes. So Eight of Mirrors, Eight of Cups, this is walking away from the things that no longer serve you. See how he's not even looking back on these reflections. He's spent time looking over. He's been a long time. Look how this is an older, wiser man, right? He's walking away. He's ready to take a new journey. He's no longer interested in reflecting on what's already happened. He is ready to move on and discover new dreams. And look, Seven of Spirals. This is Seven of Wands. This is, okay. It can be taking the defensive posture, but in this particular space, this is more, it's less of taking a defensive posture, but you see how this bear is kind of going into the cave? Think of the bear as hibernating or going deep within themselves and allowing themselves to rest, to heal, to recuperate, and to integrate, and to ground, and to activate. Because that's what this is. This is, walking away from this ego-led a way of thinking and allowing yourself to integrate this new way of thinking, allowing yourself to activate and to awaken to this new way of thinking. And then you have Temperance. Temperance, not only is this during the Sagittarius season, but this is, finding that moderate approach, right? Taking that middle ground, which is to say that, now that you've tapped into you let that ego take a step back and you let your intuition take a step forward. It's about learning to take that balance. It's learning to strike the balance of trusting your soul and or trusting your heart. Because for a lot of us, when we were younger, especially, we trusted our heart, and the first time, a couple times we got our heart broke, we stopped trusting ourselves, right? And that's what it is. It's learning to trust your heart and your soul again, to put you on the right path, right? And that's what's happening here. You're walking away from these mistakes that you made when you were ego-based. You're letting yourself heal and activate and integrate, and so that you can, I mean, I love how it's a sunflower here in the middle. It's like, and you got the Pisces here, right? So, I kind of love this. It's like that, going into those emotions and feeling very balanced and very head and heart balanced and driven at the same time. Does that make sense? Okay. So Divine Masculine, again, this is about self-mastery. This is, making time for yourself. Divine Feminine even got the separation card. And like I said, it's not necessarily about a actual separation, like a long-term separation. It could just be a temporary physical separation where you spend time focusing on yourselves. And for both of you, I feel that is the message, that this is a time of separation, more so you can focus on yourselves and you can focus on your own path and your own dreams. All right. So Divine Masculine, if you found this helpful, please give me a big thumbs up or subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Okay. Now it is time for my twins, and I am super excited. Let me show you. I got a new deck of Oracle cards. I got it from my girl. This is the Red Hot Love Oracle deck. I got this from my girl, V Love and Crystals, here on Tarot. Shout out to you, V. Love you so much. This is an amazing, amazing Oracle deck. And look, she sends it with this very sweet organza bag. She even sent me some polished amethyst. And look, she even sent me a beautiful handwritten note, which I'm going to keep with the bag in because I just love it. I just love that she sent some. It's a very thoughtful and well-designed deck, and I really, really enjoy it. So be sure to check out her channel is the best. She is the sweetest thing. She has the most fun little pick a card readings. I adore her. So be sure you check her out. Okay, so Twin Flames, let's see what messages we have for you. Headphone users, let's turn down that volume for the shuffle. Angels, ancestors, guardians, guides, spirit, what messages do we have for the Twin Flames today? What messages do we have for the Twin Flames for this Wednesday, December 9th, 2020? What messages do we have for the Twin Flames in whatever time, date, space, or place they are watching this? Thank you so much. All right, angels, ancestors, guardians, guides, spirit. We just need one card just like that on the table. I actually pulled this card. I did myself a little mini reading when I got this in the mail about an hour ago, and this is one of the cards I pulled. Walk a mile. So it looks like you need to walk a mile in each other's shoes. It's interesting because both of you have something kind of interesting here. We have here for the Divine Masculine, the Eight of Mirrors. Like he's literally walking away, and then I mean, you do have separation, which is taking you away from each other, walking a mile from each other. So it kind of feels like, hang on, let's see. Yeah, we'll just stay that one. Okay, I just want to make sure there wasn't anything else in the Divine Feminine that I was forgetting. You both need to maybe spend time walking a mile in each other's shoes. It feels like overall, maybe the reason why you're at this point where it feels like twins, it kind of feels like even those of you who are in union already, you're kind of hitting a wall maybe a little bit. Maybe there's a little bit of resistance going on. And I feel like that's because you're not seeing each other through, you're not seeing each other's perspectives, okay? So maybe this means that we need to walk a mile in each other's shoes, but more than anything, we need to look at each other from each other's perspectives. At the same time, if you are in union or already, because I know I'm kind of gathering that I feel a lot like the unions have been activated. You are mirroring each other nonstop, and you have been for a good 6 weeks nonstop. The union is being activated for the twins, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you are in union or even in contact with each other. You even know who each other is yet. So this walk a mile could be that you need to maybe whatever the situation is that you're dealing with in life, try to see it from a different perspective. Part of our part of our soul's evolution is to be able to see other people's perspectives and to see our own situation from the outside looking in. It helps if when we're standing too close to the fire, we don't realize we're about to get burned sometimes. Sometimes you need to back up and see how big the flames are to really fully appreciate how much destruction they can cause, right? So for those of you who aren't already in union, could be about taking a step back and really working on yourself and to, observe or to listen, hold space is what I'm hearing. To hold space for yourself, to observe what is going on with your current life and what patterns you can see that are, that you see yourself repeating, and to hold space for yourself. And what that means is to not offer up a judgment or an opinion or try to solve the problem. It's just to look at it and be like, okay, like let's say you're somebody who has a tendency to be like a serial monogamous. Like you jump out of one relationship and you're immediately in another and immediately in another. And these are long-term relationships, a couple months, couple years, just boom, 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 but you're never alone, right? And you start to think about that pattern. And it's really easy to be like, well, why am I doing this? And how come I keep doing this? And why am I not good at being alone? And what am I afraid of? Blah, 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 blah. There's so many ways you can look at that. Otherwise, what you can do is just allow yourself to observe it. Say, hey, I'm a serial monogamous. Well, that's interesting. I do. I date, I came out of this relationship and immediately started dating that person. And the second that relationship was ended, I found another person and so on and so forth. Well, that's interesting. And just literally don't think anything else. Just give yourself an acknowledgement and then go on. What I find to be interesting is when I'm doing that, when I'm giving myself the ability to hold space for myself and just listen to myself think about it without applying, a need to solve the problem or a reason why or what lesson did I learn. I'm like, well, that happened very often. Life is going to present itself usually very, very often with a very similar situation. It doesn't mean I'm going to necessarily be in a serial monogamy relationship is going to start again, but it could be that I'm given a choice to start another long-term thing instead of spending, another long-term like job or something that maybe isn't the best for me. And I'm not, or maybe let's say I recognize this pattern of serial monogamy in me, and then I'm given the opportunity to jump from one thing into something else. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It can be something else. I'm not sure, like maybe a job per se. That's a good one. Maybe I'm given the chance to like just jump ship and go from one job to another. Maybe now that I've recognized this about myself, maybe I can be like, hey, what lesson do I need to recognize about myself before I make this decision to change jobs? Because now I'm standing outside the fire. I'm not just like in the middle of thinking about this. Now I've recognized this about myself, and I realize I'm somebody who doesn't like to take time by myself. Okay, why am I doing that? Does this make sense? Did I confuse y'all? I kind of feel like I confused y'all. I'm sorry if I did. I wasn't trying to confuse you. But listen, despite the fact that I confused you, listen, get you these cards. Look at how cute are these. It's called the Red Hot Love Oracle. I will link them down below. And like I said, it's V Loving Crystals. Be sure you check her out. I adore her. Love you, V. Okay, let's get on with another oracle for my twins. We are going to pull from the Power Thought cards. Headphone users, let's turn down that volume. Angels, ancestors, guardians, God, spirit, what messages do we have for the twin flames today? What messages do we have for the twin flames for this Wednesday, December 9th, 2020? What messages do we have for the twin flames at whatever time, date, space, or place they are watching this reading? Thank you. Angels, ancestors, guardians, God, spirit, we just need one card, please. One card for our twin flames. What messages do we have for the twin flame? Thank you. All right, twin flames. All of my relationships are harmonious. All my relationships are harmonious. When we create harmony in our minds and in our hearts, we will find it in our own lives. The inner creates the outer always. Always, always, always. When we create harmony in our own mind and hearts, we will find it in our lives. The inner creates the outer. So walk a mile, and all my relationships are harmonious. So that is interesting because it says when we create harmony in our minds and in our hearts, this is kind of what I feel like is happening here with Divine Masculine. When you're working on the self-mastery, you're going to find your mind and your heart is going to have harmony. I realize this is not, a sword, which is, more of the mind thinking than Pentacles, but still our life, which is what Pentacles was reflective of, our whole life as a whole will reflect. When we get this, in our heart, this harmony in our heart, our life will reflect it, okay? Same thing over here, Divine Feminine, when we create this harmony in our heart and, how did it say? Harmony in our mind and our heart. When we cut out these things that are making us feel, left out and unsupported and unnurtured, when we get rid of them, we'll get this harmony restored to our mind and our heart. And it'll, literally, harmony restored to our mind and our heart, and it will come very, very quickly, okay? That's the way the world works, and that's what we're talking about. Walk a mile in your shoes. So this is about, just kind of maybe, again, we're talking about self-mastery here, twins, and about how this isn't so much about the twin flame union as it is about each of you individually, how you need to be working on looking at yourselves and looking at the choices that you're making and giving yourself grace. And not beating yourself up, and just understanding that the events that you went through were lessons that were meant to be learned. What lessons did you take from them? Look back over your past with love and y'all know that song from Mr. Carry a liaison, carry a liaison down the road that I must travel. You know that song? Do y'all know what that means, carry a liaison? It means God have mercy on us. Okay, that's what it literally means. God have mercy on us. And so that's what this is about. Carry a liaison. Have mercy on yourself. Have mercy for the choices that you made. You were doing the best you could at the time, okay? And so many of us want to judge ourselves when we're in low vibrational situations because we're not making the best choices. When you're going through some stuff and life is hard, especially like this year is a great example of that, don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself some compassion. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself some mercy. Carry a liaison, okay? Have mercy for yourself. And that's what they're saying. The more that you can just, give yourself some compassion, some mercy, the more you can find this balance within your own mind and heart, okay? And then the inner, that harmony between your mind and your heart, once that is fully in alignment, and once that alignment is restored within yourself, then the inner has to reflect, the outer will reflect the inner. In other words, your world will reflect the energy that you put out. What you put out is what you're going to get back, okay? So give some mercy to yourselves, twins. It looks like you are doing a lot of work, a ton of work, but it feels like some of you are being very hard on yourselves and not very forgiving to yourselves for your past mistakes. Carry a liaison. Have mercy. Christ eleison. Christ have mercy, okay? Have mercy for yourselves, okay? Let's see what else we got. Last card for the day, twins, before we close out for the day. This is going to come from the Golden Girls Tarot. All right. Headphone users, let's turn this down. Angels, ancestors, guardians, guides, spirit. What messages do we have for the twin flames today? Oh my goodness. That was just awful. Let's try that shuffle one more time. What messages do we have for the twin flames today? What messages do we have for the twin flames on this Wednesday, December 9th, 2020? What messages do we have for the twin flames in whatever time, date, space, or place they are watching this reading? Thank you. Angels, ancestors, guardians, guides, spirit. We need 3 cards, please, for our twin flames. Knight of Swords, the Chair. Wow, okay. Okay, Angels, Ancestors, Guardians, and last card, Nine of Wands. Yeah. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, you've got Ten of Wands, the Magician, Death, and Temperance. We're going to stop right there because that's crazy. Okay, then. Twins, let's talk about it. Like I said, this is about having mercy for yourself. You have really been beating yourself up, okay? You've been working through some stuff. It could be even that, you're working through your relationships that you're in. It doesn't have to be about yourself. This could be about relationships that you're in. And the other person isn't having compassion for you, or maybe you're not having compassion for them, or however. But listen, let's start here. We read past, present, future. This card sits between the past and the present. This card sits between the present and the future. And the cards at the bottom of the deck are our clarifiers. So starting in the past, we have that Knight of Swords. He is quick to defend his beliefs. Swords are the things we think, right? And this Knight of Swords, man, he will come, look at him running into that. He's flying in, right? And he's quick to be very defensive. And it feels like, because I do feel like this is also not just about you, but it's about some relationship you're in that is impacting the way you feel. You've either had to defend yourself or you've been making someone defend themselves. But either way, somebody has not been walking a mile in the other person's shoes, and it's causing that person to be quite defensive. Okay, let me get a sip of tea. I'm kind of thirsty here. And yeah, there's been a lot of just defensiveness, either from you or from somebody else. But either way, one of you is very defensive, and because the other person is not seeing their perspective, your perspective, okay? So moving into the present, we have the Chariot, okay? Again, walk a mile and the Chariot, okay? So this is like literally going on a journey. So what I feel like is happening is that one or both of you has finally understood something important, that pushing against, it feels like whoever this is that's been causing this defensive stance, that person is causing a lot of resistance, and they just haven't been willing to see that perspective of that other person, you, or whether that person's not seeing your perspective. Either way, it feels like they're ready, or you're ready. One of you is ready to see the other one's perspective, okay? Because that walk a mile is sitting right over that Chariot, okay? So it feels like you're ready to move past this, to move forward, to finally maybe sit down and talk. I feel like some of you haven't been able to talk in a while. And there may be absolutely no communication, in fact, is what it feels like. It feels like some of you haven't had any communication whatsoever, right? It feels like, well, maybe the time has finally come. Maybe it's time for you to get back on the phone, to pick up the phone, or FaceTime, or email, or whatever it is. But it feels like this is a new beginning, a new journey that you're going to go on, where you're going to maybe be able to understand where the other person is coming from. And in fact, sitting right over that Chariot, all my relationships are harmonious. This feels like a new journey where you're able to, it says create harmony in your mind and heart, right? So, it feels like this is a new beginning where you're both maybe trying to see each other's perspectives, and where you're both putting each other first. It feels like you're putting each other first, and you're putting your relationship first, and you're putting how you want to feel, which is feel good. You're putting the need to feel good first. And that is reflecting what you feel on the inside is reflecting on the outside. And so this feels like a good journey. I mean, remember, Chariot is number 7. 7 is literally the lucky path. Okay. So this feels like you're on the right path. So moving into the future now, this is a little bit, it threw me off for a second. I had to think about this. We have the 9 of Wands. All right. 9 of Wands, again, this is being kind of defensive or taking that last stand. So I kind of feel like with, all my relationships are supposed to be harmonious. I feel like what y'all are working through, this is not going to be the last time you're going to have this conversation. I feel like you're going to have to clarify and refine this relationship multiple times. I feel like, but this is not a bad thing. This is where life gets good. This is where you both get to co-create and define the boundaries of what you want your relationship to look like. So this is what this is. This is where you sit down and you hash it out. And I don't mean like you're at each other's throat, you know, no, I mean, this is where you sit down and you say, these are my needs, these are my boundaries. And you sit down and you say, these are my needs and these are my boundaries. And in that, we're able to come to co-creation, and we're able to get on a new path of alignment together. Okay. So, I mean, I feel like y'all are going to be spending some time on this journey together, and you're going to be spending a lot of time in the future really clarifying and refining those boundaries and making sure that you're both on the same page. Because let's look what it's at let's look what's at the bottom of the deck. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Ten of Wands, Magician, Death, and Temperance. Okay, so first of all, Death. You have Death twice on the table, and you have Temperance twice on the table. So both of your messages are getting repeated here. So like I told you, when I tell you, y'all are some serious in alignment lately. Oh yeah, you are. And if you're not in union, you're about to be, because look at how much you are reflecting each other. Okay. So let's talk about what's at the bottom of the deck. So first up, the Ten of Wands. So it feels like there has been a lot of, this is just that caring, that's that feeling of carrying a lot of responsibilities, a lot of burdens, and filming. Why do I keep saying that word? Feeling overwhelmed. That's what I'm trying to say. Again, look, this is even sitting right under walk a mile. This is just, you know, look at Sophia walking many, many, many miles, carrying those big, heavy sticks. Well, she is ready to lay down those sticks, and she is ready to maybe see things, maybe quit walking that mile in these high heels, and maybe instead go on this chariot ride being pulled by Patrick Swayze, right? I mean, this is, you know, 10, the end of the cycle. So y'all are both done with carrying these burdens that don't make you feel good. In fact, look, Magician, you're both at the my tongue just refuses to say the words. You're both at the perfect place to actually manifest this relationship. This is what I'm talking about right here. This Nine of Wands, this refining of what you want. That's what this is. This is laying down what no longer serves you. This is getting rid of what no longer serves you. This making someone feel defensive, and this, you know, it feels like just this argumentative energy. Y'all are able to get rid of that, even if it means separating from each other and getting a new relationship. That's what it means, okay? For some of you, that might be what it is, but whatever it is, when you lay down those responsibilities that you no longer need, which that could be what this is, you're finally tired of being defensive and you're ready to move on. For some of you, that is exactly what that means. You're ready to move on and get into this harmonious relationship where you can be refined and have these clear, healthy boundaries, right? That's you right there, that Magician. This is you laying down that nonsense. Look, she goes from being overwhelmed to creating. Look at Sophia. She's not overwhelmed anymore. No, she is the MFN Magician. She's manifesting the life of her dreams. In fact, here again, look who shows up. Temperance. Temperance is here. That's not just Sagittarius season. That's about taking that middle path. That's about, you know, getting what you want. And then look, Death. So yeah, it's, you know, the end of carrying this, of feeling unbalanced. It's the end of feeling like you're unable to create. It's the end of carrying these heavy loads. It's the end of that. Because that's what the story is saying. The story is saying you've been blocking, you know, this heavy load has been keeping you from creating magic. This heavy load has been keeping you from feeling that, you know, stability, that stability that you need to create the life of your own. It is the end of that. We're done with that. We're no more. We are done not feeling sure-footed. We are done not making our own magic. We are done carrying unnecessary heavy loads. Oh heck, no, twin flames. We're not playing that game anymore. So for some of you, it may mean that it is time to quit feeling defensive, and it may be time to walk away. All right. Absolutely. It may be time to walk away. For some of you, it may just be that, you know, it's time to finally see a different perspective so that you can begin again this relationship, that you can start over, okay? And again, both of you, is about self-mastery, okay? This is the theme. But I just want to say one more time, Kyrie eleison. Have mercy. Have mercy for yourselves. Have mercy for each other. And most of all, love each other. I want you to know just how much I love you and how grateful I am that you stuck around for this message. I post new content Monday through Friday, so I hope you will come back. If you haven't already, give me a big old thumbs up. I would appreciate it, or subscribe to my channel, or leave me a comment, or share a video, or whatever floats your little boat. That's awesome. I love you so much. I hope you keep on praying until I see you next time. Bye, Twin Flames.